What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. Let the games begin. We are playing through with Bulbasaur in a speedrun challenge. This is actually a replay speedrun. I had played through Bulbasaur before. Not the greatest time, not the best video either. It's probably my first video of this channel, other than my introduction video. Let's move on to Bulbasaur's stats really fast. Bulbasaur has some pretty well-distributed stats, but they're not the greatest stats. Health, and attack, and defense are all 45, 49, and 49. Special is actually pretty good because it's grass type, 65. And then 45 speed, so I think it's the slowest starter of the three. So not the greatest stats, but also I have a different layout. Let me know if you like it. I figured the stats are more important than showing a bigger picture of the Pokemon. Moving on to Ivysaur. Level 16, he evolves into Ivysaur. Ivysaur gets a little bit faster, a little more hit points. Attack goes up to 62, defense goes up to 63, but special goes up to 80. So special is both attack and defense in Gen 1, so it's just 80, not 80 and 80. It's, if you see it down there, it shows it. So it gets a little bit better. And then the last stage, I think it's at level 36 or 32, one of the two, is Venusaur. Venusaur has okay speed, okay hit points. Attack and defense are pretty good, but its special is probably its best stat at 100. So pretty well distributed stats. Not the greatest in anything really other than special, but pretty evenly distributed. Now, here's where the kicker with Venusaur, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur comes in, is their move pool. So, the move pool is not the greatest. Of all the starters, it has the most shallow move pool. There's some things that it should probably be able to do, but it doesn't. I'll go over the level up move pool. So, you start with Tackle and Growl, you get Leech Seed, which, if you don't know what that is, basically you seed the Pokemon, you gradually absorb health from them over time. So, that's great if it's a long, drawn-out fight and they're not attacking you. You can replenish health pretty quick, but it's not great because it's very slow. So in a speed run, that's not the greatest move to have. But it also takes time, and you gotta assume they're not going to damage you either. And in Vine Whip, you get a 13. It's actually the one Pokemon, one of the trainers that are starters, gets its first real stab move very late. Charmander and Squirtle both get. Squirtle gets Bubble at level 8. Charmander gets Ember at level 9. Bulbasaur has to wait all the way to level 13 to get Vine Whip. At level 20, you get Poison Powder. That can be useful. I don't know how useful it will be in this playthrough. Razor Leaf is probably your best bet, your best attack. Growth is very good. It boosts your stats and helps us do the badge boost. And then Sleeping Powder at 41 and Solar Beam at 48. Now that's if we just stuck with Bulbasaur. We're probably going to evolve into Ivysaur without too much resistance at level 16 because we want to get those higher stats. It's going to help us with a couple things early. So our Razor Leaf will probably be pushed back to around level 30, which is okay. We're going to be pretty high level by then anyway. But we'll push the Razor Leaf back to 30, and then we'll evolve into Venusaur, and we'll probably get growth. Yeah, we'll be Venusaur when we get growth. So we won't get growth level 43, and we'll get Sleeping Powder at level 55 with Venusaur. We probably won't use Solar Beam, but we can get it at level 65 if we choose so. So, the TM moveset, like I said, is the shallowest of all Gen 1 starters. But we do get Swords Dance. I may actually use Swords Dance this time rather than Growth. So, Growth will boost your attack and your defense. But initiates the badge boost, so it speeds up your Pokemon and does all the other stuff the badge boost does. Swords Dance will raise your attack by 2 stages every time you do it. So, you do it 3 times, it does raise your attack, but then it raises your defense and stuff along with it. So I think Swords Dance may be my play this time. Last time I played through, it was with my final move I believe was Growth, Body Slam, Mimic, and Sleep Powder. So probably not going to do much different from this because Gen 1 is just not friendly to Bulbasaur, and you'll see why in the playthrough. Toxic, we can use it, but I doubt we will. Toxic's great if you can stall out and basically take no damage, but it takes too long for Toxic to actually work. Body Slam is very useful for this Pokemon. Takedown is very useful for this Pokemon. Double Edge is very useful. Rage is not. Mega Drain will be incredibly useful with us. It's a stab move for us. If you don't know what stab means, it means same type attack bonus. And what that means is attack says 40, so basically 1.5 times it. So it's about 60 base power move. And Mega Drain replenishes our health. So if something's weak to us, we get stabbed and we get same type attack bonus, we get a lot more health back whenever we attack something. Solar Beam, like I said, not useful at all. Mimic will be very useful. Reflect, not not really useful. Double Team I've banned from playthroughs. Bide is not useful. Rest isn't useful. Well, it could be useful, but I'm not going to use it. Substitute could be useful, but we're not going to use it. And Cut. So those are the move sets for this Pokemon. Let me go over the rules of the playthrough real quick, and then I'll give you my prediction. Rules of the playthrough. So, first thing is, we can always use Bulbasaur in battle. We can use other Pokemon to catch other Pokemon for, like, HMs. And to use HM, obviously. Running clock with 3 exceptions. The first exception is Lieutenant Surge's gym. You can never find the button inside this trash can, so I pause the timer, go find it, and then I start the timer back up again once we're about to fight Lieutenant Surge, and then I progress to the game from there. Also, the second one is a gray area. It's basically, throughout the course of the game, you gather stuff and you may get over encumbered. So we can pause the timer, unload stuff into the computer, go buy some things that we need, do some errands basically, go get a TM here, an HM there. That's not really inducive to the plot of the game. We can pause it for that. And then the third option, which we're not going to use in this playthrough, is sometimes you got to get a move at the Rocket Game Corner. And we'll pause the timer if we need to do that, but we don't have to do it in this playthrough, so it will not be relevant in this playthrough. No glitches or exploits, not allowed to use the Missingo glitch, not allowed to use the Pokédoll glitch. The only thing we're really allowed to use glitch-wise is the Badge Boost glitch, and that's because we can't help it. And no items in battle. My opponents don't follow this rule very well, but I'm not allowed to use items in battle. A good example of why you want to do that is speedrunners use like X attack or X speed, one of those two. And basically it skips over any kind of like attack check. So Horn Drill, for example, I used that in my last video with Kadabra, Alakazam, Alakazam, and Kadabra. And we mimicked Horn Drill, and what it does is there's about 30% accurate move, and it can miss very easily if you don't outspeed your opposition. But if you use X attack, it skips over the accuracy check. It just does the attack. So that's where that would be beneficial. We're not going to do that. We got to try to win the battle, going through the accuracy checks and all. And then the last thing I want to say, because we're on the screen and I always forget, is please subscribe. This is a channel that is run by a father of 2 who works a good 40-50 hours a week. So I do this in my spare time. Liking or subscribing really helps. Commenting, liking really helps. This lets me know you're watching. And then follow me on Twitter and Instagram, JD's Nerdverse on Twitter, and at JD's_nerd_verse on Instagram. Let's go back to the first slide, and we will go over our predictions. So the initial playthrough I played through as. First off, it's, again, I mean, if you want to go watch it, fine, but it's 2 hours long, because I didn't cut out any footage. It was just a playthrough, so when I first started, I thought, you know, I'll just put the entire thing up, let people watch, and I'll make a condensed version later. And I never actually made a condensed version of this one because I realized all mine should just be condensed. No one wants to see a 2.5 hour video, and I'm going to get minimal views for that. So this video never got a condensed version. It's 2 hours long. Also, the time frame in this playthrough was 1 hour and 54 minutes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to destroy that. I plan on heavily destroying that time. However, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near close to Charmander or Squirtle. Their playthroughs were I would say they're very fast. Well, one was very fast, faster than one ever, because it was optimized. But Bulbasaur, I played through, and the first time I played through, I actually played through 3 times before I recorded. So he got a good scout run. I had all these opportunities to make it better. It was just a tough playthrough, and you're going to see why in the playthrough, why it's tough. I have not done the playthrough yet, but I just know the struggles that he had, and I don't know how to overcome them other than over-leveling, and I'm not going to try to do that. I'm just going to try to be a little more meticulous about what I do. So, again, the initial time before was 1 hour 54 minutes and 32 seconds. I think I'll get this done in less than an hour and 40 minutes, and that might be you might say that's not that big of an increase. Like, trust me, there's a lot of struggles that Bulbasaur has. The Elite Four has a Ghost type, which is weak 2. He has there's Ice type, which is weak 2. You have Dragon types, which I won't think they're weak 2, but he's not great against. And then you have your rival, who has a Charizard. So there's a lot of things that are going to be struggles for this Pokemon, but I'm excited to play through. I'm excited for you to watch. So take it away, future JD. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. This is JD. We were playing through with Bulbasaur, aka Bulbafett, so I was looking for pictures to put in for the display around the game,
and I came across this Boba Fett themed Bulbasaur. I'm like, I gotta use that. So I called him Boba Fett. So that's where that comes from. I love things that are combining two things. I enjoy Pokemon and Star Wars are two of my favorite things ever. So if I could find one that's Pokemon, Star Wars, and Batman, I would be a very happy man. So we actually beat our rival in the first try. We have a couple battles here we're gonna face. Really quick battles. Now somehow, for some reason, I paused. I think I used the bathroom right here, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna drop right by it. There we go. And we beat this Pidgey. We actually beat a couple Pidgeys, but we beat this Pidgey. And the whole point of this Pidgey showing this is I want to talk a little bit about the struggles that Bulbasaur has. So I'm a little under the weather. So if you hear me coughing a little bit, it's trying to fight through it. I had some hot tea. I actually started filming this and had the wrong video up. I had the non-edited video, so I was like, why is this taking so long? So, Bulbasaur. So Bulbasaur has a unique disadvantage compared to the other starters. Bulbasaur does not get a stab move until level 13. Stab means same type attack bonus. If you watch my videos, I mentioned that a good amount. So it's same type attack. But by the way, I am using Christmas themed colors, a little bit of green and red. So I hope you enjoy that. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone. So he doesn't get a stab move till level 13, whereas Squirtle gets one at 8 and Charmander gets one at 9. So the early part of the game you can get through a lot faster with the other two starters, whereas with Bulbasaur, it's a little bit of a grind because you have to use Tackle. Whereas Charmander can use Ember, and he can destroy every bug in Bug Trainer in the forest in one hit. And Squirtle can do a little bit better just because it is a better attacking move than Tackle. So, I mean, we don't lose any of these battles, but that is a struggle that Bulbasaur faces. It's not getting a stab move until level 13. We do get to level 12 pretty quickly, so we didn't have like a lot of struggle doing that. That wasn't like an issue, but we do get to level 12 pretty fast, and we beat this trainer with just one tackle left, so that could have been bad. We go heal and we go face this trainer. This trainer, tackle will be about a third. One more tackle, it will be a 4-hit or a 3-hit. It's going to be a 3-hit, very good. Kakuna will take forever. Now this is one of the other struggles. Because we don't have a stab move for this portion of the game, these attacks, these battles, whatever you want to call it, they take longer. They take longer to get through, they take longer to win, and it eats up more time. This battle's lasted already a minute, we're not even through the second Pokemon. But it's because we have to use Tackle, a very low damaging move, compared to like a Vine Whip, which even Vine Whip wouldn't do well. And the reason why that is because Bug resists grass type moves. So that's a lot of disadvantages early that Bulbasaur has. So that's the issue that we're dealing with right now with Bulbasaur. Is bug types, we have nothing to work against them. Even if we did get a move that could work like Vine Whip, it doesn't do a lot of damage. We face our rival here, the Dirty Bird Pidgey. Just don't want to get off the sand. He got off one sand attack. Great. That's awesome. And we come out with, he brings out Charmander. Vine Whip doesn't really do much. Tackle, we miss. Tackle, we miss again. Tackle, we miss again. I think Sand Attack is so overpowered. Like, you do one Sand Attack and it just, everything misses after that. It's ridiculous. But we're trying to hang on and win this. I honestly thought about restarting this fight. But I decided to Leech Seed, because at the very least, if I Leech Seed, I can get some health replenished and do a little bit of damage. We do get the knockout, but just by, we were 5 levels higher, and it took us such a stretch to win that battle. Now we're facing the junior trainer in Brock's gym. Vine Whip was a 1-hit, and Sandshrew, a 2-hit. Sandshrew is a little bulkier, I guess, so it's not a 1-hit, but a little bulkier, and we get level 15. And then we face Brock. I don't even save. I'm very confident in how the outcome of this battle is going to go. It's going to be 2 hits, 2 knockouts, or 2 OKOs, as we call it, 1-hit knockouts. And it's a 1-hit knockout on the Onix. So we beat Brock. Brock's not the issue. The good thing about this Pokemon, the issue with this Pokemon are never the actual gym leaders really aren't much of an issue. It's the other battles in the game. It's the in-between battles that are not very good. So we get buyed, and we actually go to heal But before I go and heal, after I go and heal, I actually teach Bide. And the reason why I teach Bide, and this is not something I do regularly. This is a very rare, very like one-off situation where I use Bide. Bide is very bad. What it does is when you attack, someone attacks you, does like 5 damage. It accumulates damage and it doubles back everything dealt while Bide is initiated. So if I initiate Bide and you attack me once and does 7, and the next one does 8, and I unleash my Bide, the energy, I'll do 30 damage. So the reason why I'm doing that is because Bulbasaur, here's the other disadvantage with Bulbasaur. So not only do we not have we didn't get a stab move till 13, the stab move we did get only has 13 power points. Okay, or 10 power points. So Vine Whip is not a vital move we can use. Plus, a lot of them are birds or bugs, and it's not very effective anyway. So Vine Whip, it's still, even as a powerful move, Vine Whip is going to be a 3-hit knockout on Caterpie. 10 power points. This trainer has 10 Pokemon. You can add it up. We're gonna have to go back and heal right after this fight. So I have to use Tackle and Bide to get through a lot of these battles, just so that we don't have to go back and heal as often. So it's a strategic move I'm using on my part, and let's see how well I execute it. But I'm pretty confident I execute it as well as I need to for this playthrough. So I'm gonna do Tackle. Tackle does about 40% damage. Vine Whip is would have probably been a 1-hit possibly. Bide doesn't do anything right now. Tackle. I was kind of hoping I think he might institute Wrap or Poison Sting or something. So we get the knockout, and we beat Youngster. So now we're going to heal. We have a lot of potions that we didn't anticipate using. So I'm saving right here before this girl. So here's another genius strategy on my part, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I will in this case, is Bide actually skips over the accuracy check. That's a benefit to Bide, is with a Pidgey like this that keeps using Sand Attack, it does not affect our ability to actually attack the Pokemon. It doesn't. It does not affect the ability to attack the Pokemon. It skips over the accuracy check, so this Pidgey can use Sand Attack all they want. But it's not going to do anything to me, because it'll still attack me, but I'm much more bulkier than the Pidgey, and eventually it'll do enough damage to me that I can unleash damage to it and knock it out. So that was, I'm not going to try to toot my own horn, but that was a genius strategy on my part to use Bide to circumvent the accuracy check done from accuracy issues that are enhanced by Sand Attack. There we go. And look at this, we're already out of Bide. Actually, we don't have a lot of Bide left. We had 10 Bide, and now we're out. Now we have Tackle and I think some Vine Whip. So we're facing another Bug Trainer, and I'm trying to replenish a little bit of health here, which I don't see the point in this. It was stupid of me. I think in the moment I was thinking long term, but we're gonna have to go back and heal to get power points anyway. So it was redundant. I wasted my time doing this. However, it is what it is. So this is the next issue. Between here and Mount Moon, Squirtle and Charmander got their second powerful move. So for example, Charmander got Mega Punch. In Mount Moon he gets Mega Punch. Squirtle gets 2 more powerful moves. So he has Bubble, and then he gets Water Gun, and he also gets Mega Punch. So that's the advantage for those two, because they have a secondary pretty good move that they can knock someone out with. Whereas Bulbasaur doesn't have that access. He can't use Body Slam, he can't use Water Gun. There's just nothing he can use. That's why we're using Bide. And Bide is a desperation tactic, because I could not think of another way to do it other than going back and healing 9 times. So now we're about to face this youngster with a Spearow, and this Spearow is going to, he'll knock us out pretty easily if we don't initiate Bide like we're about to do. So I actually think the Leer helps us, because Leer does a lot more damage. It lowers our defense, so it does more damage to us, and when damage is dealt, we deal back double, so we get to knock out pretty handily, and we move on to this last Bug Trainer. We should not have to use Vine Whip too much. I mean, I think we just went and healed. Yeah, we just went and healed. So, we got plenty of Vine Whips and things to get through these next 2 Pokemon before we get to the next Poke Center. Tackle. Leech Seed. So, to talk more about Bulbasaur, his deficiencies, His efficiency, it's not just him, it's actually all grass types in Gen 1. They just don't have a deep move pool. They don't have a deep move pool. They have a lot of diversity in that move pool. I think maybe Bulbasaur has the deepest of all of them. Maybe. I haven't played through some others. I haven't played through Execute yet. I haven't played through Bellsprout. So we'll see. But when I was researching Bellsprout, which I did recently, because that's like 2 playthroughs away, I don't think he has a moveset that really outpaces Bulbasaur. I think he gets Vine Whip earlier, but that's not very useful. That's not overly useful in the early part of the game. Because, I mean, it will be useful for Brock, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm very excited to see that. And Execute, you only have Barrage for a portion of the game. So we're in Mount Moon. There's nothing in here. We get a Dome Fossil, but it's part of the game. It's arbitrary. There's not a lot of things we can really do in here. So yeah, and I don't know why I got rid of Bide. Why did I get rid of Bide? That was dumb on my part. So that's one mistake right there, because if I had Bide, he keeps using Pound, I could just deal it back to him double and knock him out pretty easily. I don't know why I got rid of Bide for Poison Powder. I never use Poison Powder. It doesn't come in handy at all. So there's one mistake. There's a couple mistakes in this run that are really crucial to time. This isn't like really crucial to time, but there's one later that definitely is. So I'll explain it when it happens. And we get the knockout here. Very good. And Coughing is going to be a 3-hit. I keep thinking we're going to get poisoned. I actually bought an antidote, not thinking like, hey, we're grass poison. We're not going to get hit by anything. So we move on to Misty's Gym. Misty's Gym is a pushover. Vine Whip, as much as it's not a very powerful attack, it's powerful to Misty. It's powerful to her constituents in her gym. Constituents. There we go. Constituents. It's a funny word. Constituents. Her minions, whatever you want to call them. Goldeen could be tough because she has Peck, which Peck qualifies, I think it says a bird or a flying type move. But we knock her out in like 2 hits with no damage taken. I was just checking my health, but this should be a pretty easy knockout. And saving right there. And we face Misty. If it wasn't for an X-Defend here, I'm pretty confident we knock out Staryu in 1 hit. But that X-Defend probably cost us than a 1-hit knockout there. It's okay, because Tackle only does 4 damage. And in Starmie, we have 4 Vine Whips left. We have Tackle if we need it. But I should have just stuck with more damage-dealing moves like Bide. That's a critical error to me. Doesn't come back to haunt me, but it did haunt me in that 1 battle. So now we go face our rival. Now, here's the thing about our rival. Our rival here, we win this battle, and I'm going to go and talk about something else while we fight. So, in this town, you actually get an enhancement to your Pokemon. Except for Bulbasaur. Again, in this town, Squirtle gets access to 3 moves, I think. He can get access to Bubble Beam. If he really wants it, he can get access to Seismic Toss. Don't know why anyone would unless you're playing with a Pokemon that it was necessary. Or you can get access, to Dig. All 3 of those moves are accessible to Squirtle, and Squirtle has a full-on moveset of Bubble Beam, Mega Punch, Dig, I think he gets Bite as well throughout that. So he has a full-on moveset, where Charmander doesn't get Bubble Beam, but he gets Dig, and he already has Ember, so you got Ember, Mega Punch, Dig, and Scratch. All moves that he can use very effectively, whereas Bulbasaur, he can't get anything until 2 things happen. Either A, he gets to level 30 and gets Razor Leaf, or B, he gets to level, he gets to the SSN and get Body Slam. So we save Bill from his freaky science experiment, and we face this trainer called Sandy. I'm not going to take credit for this joke. This is 100% Scott's thoughts. It's just the perfect name for this trainer. The 3 sand attacking Pidgeys, which Bide would have been great for this, but I didn't have it, so it is what it is. And then we have my favorite NPC, favorite character that we have to face. He just gives me such a setup for one of my favorite jokes. And that's, he's got Spearow. Spear to 0. Spear to 0! Take it. Yes, indeed. Woo! And then we eradicate his Raticate. And now we're moving on to the SSN. Now on the SSN, we have to take 1 trainer, we have to face 1 extra trainer, and we get the move Body Slam. Body Slam, I'm not going to say it unlocks this Pokemon. It definitely opens up this Pokemon to being less susceptible to a random encounter we have that's going to knock us out. And we don't have to go back and heal as much, even though Body Slam does not have a lot of power points. But what Body Slam does have is it has more damage done than Tackle, or Leech Seed. So now we have 15 more power points we can utilize before we have to go back and heal anything. Now we face in our 4th rival fight, and this rival fight pretty much is a pushover. It's a joke, whatever you want to call it. We're going to move Body Slam up a little bit. Body Slam is a 2-hit, very good. Now we're moving on to Raticate. Raticate's not much, it's almost a 1-hit, so close. We have a lot of health going into Kadabra. Kadabra will be a 1-hit. Body Slam will be a 1-hit, but he does outspeed us. So that leaves us with 45 health going into the fight against the Charmeleon. Charmeleon has Ember, and as long as we one-shot, okay. So we're 10 levels higher, we should one-shot. So now we're facing Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge is a cakewalk. And he's a cakewalk because he can't do really any damage to us, and we can 2-shot him anytime we want. Almost said 1-shot there. Then I caught myself. We'll 1-shot the Pikachu, but we'll 2-shot the Raichu, and look how much its move does. Barely anything. And actually it's a 3-shot because his defense went up. Stupid defense. Okay. So we move on to this NPC called the Exploding Hiker. He has 3 exploding Pokemon, which usually are tricky in other runs. At this run, we have Razor Leaf now, which Razor Leaf is annoying. It's not annoying in a bad way. It's annoying in a good way. But it's annoying that a higher damaging move of a typing has more power points than a lower one. Razor Leaf has 25 power points. 25 power points. And for some reason, Razor Leaf only has 10. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. It should be the other way around at least. But I digress. We're in the Rocket Game Corner now. And we're going to face Tweedledee and Tweedledum here in a second. Tweedledee, Tweedledum, na-na-na-na-na-na. Vine Whip is a 1-hit with the Ekans. Or I'm sorry, with the Sandshrew. Body Slam is a 1-hit. Vine Whip is a 1-hit with the Sand Slash. We defeat Tweedledee. And now Tweedledum comes out. He has the same Pokemon except for the final stage. He's like, I can do better than that. No, you can't. You can't do any better. You're not going to do better. You think you can, but you're not going to. So Boba Fett. Then we're going to use Vine Whip again. Save our Razor Leaf for Giovanni. And then Vine Whip does nothing. I think we misclicked there. Body Slam. Use Body Slam before he does something stupid. And we get the knockout. Very good. So now we're moving on to Giovanni. Giovanni is not going to be super tough. He uses a lot of ground type Pokemon. And then he has a Kangaskhan. So the ground type Pokemon, all we gotta use is Razor Leaf, and we'll sweep his entire team. Razor Leaf 1-hit knockout, very good. Now Razor Leaf is great, but it's not great for the end game, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. But basically, the likelihood of Razor Leaf hitting a critical hit is very high. It's almost instantly hits critical hits all the time. And that affects your badge boost. So I'll explain that here in a little bit. And now we're facing our 5th rival fight. 5th rival fight should be easy. Body Slam should be a 1-hit. Oh, it's not a 1-hit, but it's close to a 1-hit. So 2-hit knockout. And then we should sweep the rest of his team. No, we don't. Damn. That could have been bad because he could have put us to sleep. Gyarados, Razor Leaf's a 1-hit. Very good. Kadabra, Razor Leaf is a 1-hit. Very good. And is Razor Leaf a 1-hit on Charmeleon? No. But we hit a 2-hit. We knock it out. No, we don't get a 2-hit. Damn. Okay. We should just step with that. Don't risk it, but we're dumb. And now we're facing Erica's Gym. We beat all Pokemon Tower. It's not important. Erica's Gym's not very important either. But what I do want to explain is the Badge Boost glitch. So, the Badge Boost glitch in Gen 1, if you've never heard this explained on any Pokemon video, I'm not very good at it, but I'll explain what I know about it. The Badge Boost glitch basically, whenever you modify any stats, all stats are adjusted 12.5% based on what gym leaders you beat. So every odd number gym leader gives you a boost in some stat. I think Brock is like attack. I think speed. Special was supposed to be Lieutenant Surge and whatnot. But we decided in this game, the reason why the badge boost is important is decided in this game that what we're going to play through with, instead of using Growth like we did last time, we're going to use Swords Dance. Swords Dance will up your attack by 2 stages. Whereas Growth upped it by 1, it also upped your defense a little bit. But what we're going to do instead is I did 1 Body Slam and knocked out every single one of these Pokemon. Well, 1 each. Knocked out all of them. So now we're moving on to Koga's Gym. Now, Koga's Gym would not be scary at all. We are grass poison, so we have an advantage of not being affected very much by grass poison Pokemon. However, it's all the other trainers in this gym that are the problem. It's the trainers in here that have a Hypno, that have Psychic Pokemon when they're not supposed to have Psychic Pokemon in this gym. It doesn't make any damn sense. But they're just hanging out in here, juggling around Pokemon, Pokeballs that are Psychic. And so, yeah, we have to deal with that. But it is what it is. It's part of this gym. It's just very weird part of this gym. So now we're taking on this trainer. Drowsy's a 2-hit. Kadabra. I don't know why I did Mega Drain there. I thought maybe I'd get a little bit of health knocking out the last Pokemon. I wasn't paying attention. So anyway, we get the knockout, and then we knock out Drowsy. We should get the knockout. There we go. Mega Drain. Replenishes some health, but doesn't do much. So it's a 2-hit knockout there, and we get the knockout. We're moving on to the next couple trainers. So this trainer also has a Drowsy and a Hypno. Body Slam is going to be a 2-hit. We just got to avoid any kind of confusion or any kind of confusion like issues, like getting hit by confusion and being confused. We can tank a couple hits. That's not an issue. Now, here's a fight that I'm having with Giovanni. Now, I actually lost this fight one time, and I'll go ahead and tell you why. I didn't lose this fight because he beat me. I lost this fight because I didn't have enough power points to finish the battle. I have not healed in a while. So I had no power points for Body Slam, and I had no power points for anything. So what I did was just gave an Ether to Body Slam. So now I'm able to use Body Slam and pretty much sweep his entire team. It'll one-shot both of the Coughings. It won't one-shot the Mucks, but it does enough damage that I can get through and beat his entire team without too much resistance. So Sludge did a lot right there, but we get the knockout. So that's 5 gyms out of the way. So now we move on to rival number 6. This is supposed to be one of the tougher rival fights in the game. We make it kind of tricky on ourselves, but we actually get the win. So the strategy here is use Swords Dance. We're going to use Swords Dance 3 times. We're going to take a little bit of damage with Wing Attack. Kind of scary because that was a lot of damage. We got a critical hit on the first one. That's why it was a lot of damage. So we set up. There's 1 knockout. We set up. There's 2 knockouts. We set up on Gyarados. Mega Drain does nothing. Mike gets a critical hit. We go first, which is good because he can't make us flinch. He has Dragon Rage, and I'm like, yeah, wow, we got 33 health left. This is not good. But Alakazam, we outspeed because of the Badge Boost. So Body Slam is a 1-hit. Question is Charizard 1-hit by the Body Slam? It is. So we get the knockout. We beat the rival pretty handily, actually. We just took a lot of damage trying to set up on the Pidgeot. Now we're facing Giovanni, the second to last Giovanni fight. It's a trilogy. We're in part 2 right now. Tune in for we're not even going to be Revenge of the Giovanni. It's going to be the downfall of Giovanni. We get the first knockout, very good. Second, Kangaskhan, Razor Leaf. It's a 1-hit, very good. Now Rhyhorn is a 1-hit. I don't think Nidoqueen's a 1-hit with Razor Leaf. Body Slam does about a third. We get the Paralyzed. She's a bulky girl, that Nidoqueen. But we get the knockout, we beat Giovanni, and then we go on to Blaine's Gym. Now, Blaine's Gym should be the hardest gym in the game for us. We are Grass type. He is a Fire type. So Blaine doesn't do much. We set up on Growlithe. Now, here's why he's doing what he's doing. I'm going to pause this real quick. So if you look at Growlithe, he keeps doing Agility. This is what you call good AI. He looks at us and says, we're Grass Poison. What is the best move I have against a Grass type or a Poison type? Agility is Psychic. Psychic's very effective against Poison-type Pokemon. So that is why he keeps spamming Agility. He does that because the game tells him this is a Poison-type Pokemon, use a Psychic-type move. Even though the game doesn't distinguish between status conditioning moves or like stat boosting moves or even attacking moves. That is why he is doing that. For no reason other than the quote-unquote good AI tells him that. And he also does a lot of super active potions. Blaine is the one that does that the most. So we level up in the middle of battle, which is not great, because now it undoes a lot of our badge boosting. So all it does is keep our attack high, but we still get 4 knockouts nonetheless. We beat Blaine, move on to Sabrina. Sabrina can be the next one that can be tricky, because we are grass poison, so she has psychic type Pokemon. They're going to use psychic type moves. So I'm going to use Swords Dance, tank a psychic. I can probably take one more psychic if I wanted to, but she does. But now I think I can body slam and knock out the rest of his team. So this is Mr. Mime, that's that's 1 hit. Venomoth is a 1 hit, and if Alakazam's a 1 hit, we sweep the entire team. We level up, unfortunately, but we still outsped and beat him. Very good. We beat Sabrina and her whip, and we move on to the final Giovanni fight, the trilogy, the epic conclusion of the Giovanni's downfall, losing to a kid with 1 Pokemon. Swords Dance setup. We don't really need to do this. We have Grass type. He is Ground type. We're going to sweep his entire team. Razor Leaf, 1-hit knockout, very good. Nidoqueen, 1-hit knockout. Oh, no, it's not. 2-hit knockout. We can't get poisoned, though, so we're still over 100 health, which is good. Nidoking, is Nidoking a 1-hit? It is not, but it's a 2-hit. Guard Spec, still don't know what it does. Apparently, it's so good that Giovanni has to do it all the time. Get the level up, and then Rhyhorn is a 1-hit with Razor Leaf. Very good. So, we beat the rival, or we beat our Giovanni, and we face our 7th rival fight. The last one before we take on the Elite Four, or not so Elite Four in some cases. So, the tactic here, same as last tactic. You're going to find a Pokemon to set up on. We're going to use Pidgeot, because whatever he does here, we can replenish our health pretty handily. So the next Pokemon is Rhyhorn. We probably should just set up on Rhyhorn, honestly. And we could have just done that there and knocked out the Pidgey pretty quick. Body Slam when he execute. This could have been scary, because he didn't use Hypnosis, thank goodness. So this one, Razor Leaf, is not a 1-hit. It's probably a 3-hit. We're going to replenish some health, though, because he doesn't do much to us. We lowered our defense, but it upped our stats again. Alakazam, Body Slam will be a 1-hit. Very good. Now we have one more Pokemon. Charizard. Is Body Slam a 1-hit? It is a 1-hit. Very good. We beat our rival again, and now we're heading on to the Elite Four. And here's the thing. We also get... we also get Sleeping Powder, and we forget Razor Leaf and keep Sleeping Powder. Now, here's why I forgot Razor Leaf. I'm going to go ahead and pause this really fast and explain why Razor Leaf is not good. So in the league, we have to use our badge boosting move, Swords Dance, a lot. In Gen 1, when you do a stat modifying move like Swords Dance, moves that hit critical hits ignore the stat buffs. So for example, if I use stat buffs and then use Razor Leaf and I get a critical hit, it won't add in the bonus of doing the stat boost, the badge boost glitch. So that is why Razor Leaf, though it is a powerful move, is not good to use in a playthrough like this. So that's why I'm not doing that. Now, coming up here, we have where I'll show you where I made a critical mistake that cost me a sub-hour and 30-minute run. So Lorelai's not going to be too tricky. Even though she's Ice type, we're going to put Dugong to sleep, but Dugong is also going to see us as a poison type. So she'll do both. She'll do either ice or she'll do rest. So we knock out Cloyster. That's very good. Now we're facing Slowbro. Body Slam is a 1-hit. We're facing Jinx. Is Jinx a 1-hit? Jinx is a 1-hit. And now we're facing Lapras. Is Lapras a 1-hit? It is a 1-hit. So we sweep that entire... We didn't even take any damage. Took no damage. Now we're moving on to Bruno. Now Bruno, he gets us. He gets us one time here. And I hate to admit it, but he gets us one time, I think, right here. So we got Bruno. We do a Swords Dance. We do one. He does next defend. That's fine. Okay. We do two. We do one, and we do Mega Drain. And we use Body Slam, and he uses counter and knocks us the heck out. So kudos to you, Bruno, for once using a very good strategy to beat me. It won't happen again. 2 Swords Dance would have made that a 1-hit, and I'm going to do it again and make sure I don't leave it to chance. This is why sometimes you just gotta, take the extra turn. Onyx can literally do nothing to us that's going to hurt us indefinitely. And we can always Mega Drain and get all of our health back. Okay, so we boosted our stats. Mega Drain's a 1-hit. Very good. We level up, which sucks. However, Body Slam is still 1-hit because here's what I wanted to explain. When we level up, all your stats revert back. but the one stat we are modifying stays the same. So the attack stat stays the same, whereas like my speed might go back to what it was before the badge boost. My defense might go back, but my attack stays. That's why I stuck with Swords Dance this time rather than Growth. Knockout again, and we got one more Pokemon Machamp. Is it a one hit? It is a one hit. So these two trainers have not been difficult other than Bruno and his cleverly used move. Now, here's where I made the crucial mistake that cost me a sub-hour and 30-minute run. So right here, I'm about to add a move. The move is Mimic. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick. So Agatha has 3 Pokemon. 3 of them are ghosts, which means Body Slam will not hurt it. Okay? Which means Mega Drain is not super effective. So we have to mimic a move. Now we have Sleep Powder and Swords Dance. So what we can do is her first Gengar has a move called Dream Eater. We can mimic Dream Eater, put Pokemon to sleep, and then knock him out with Dream Eater. Okay? Now here's a critical error. To do Mimic, I removed Body Slam rather than Mega Drain. And the reason why I did that is my thought was I can replenish my health with Mega Drain. I can't do that with Body Slam. True, but Body Slam would let you sweep the next 2 oppositions. So this is where I made a mistake. And I can't go back and fix it. And if I just would have made this one subtle change, I would have won this battle won this game under an hour and 30 minutes with Bulbasaur. So I feel bad because it was an error on my part. It took me a while to make this decision, but I chose Body Slam. I do make up for it. I do have a counter to it, which I wish I just chose a little bit sooner. So now we're facing Agatha. And as J. Rose calls it, the Agatha Lottery. You gotta be weary because she puts you to sleep, she can confuse you, she can poison you, paralyze you, all that good stuff. But we outspeed. We put her to sleep first. Actually, we miss. Then we put her to sleep. Put her to sleep again. She doesn't wake up. We mimic Dream Eater. And then we use Swords Dance to up our attack. And we're going to use Sleep Powder on Golbat. We're going to use Dream Eater to knock it out. Very good. She's like literally the only trainer that substitutes Pokemon in. She literally is in this game. I don't recall anyone else ever doing this other than one of the trainers in Koga's gym. No one else does it though. So Sleep Powder. Dream Eater knocks it out. Now, I'd have kept Body Slam. I could Body Slam Arbok, and I could Body Slam Golbat. So I don't have to put him to sleep. I'm relying too much on the Sleep Powder tactic on this Pokemon. But we finally get to sleep, and we get Dream Eater to hit, and it replenishes our health, but also it knocks it out after 2 hits. So this is a critical mistake on my part. And here's another, I think in this minute, I was like, I don't know what was going on with my brain. I made 2 critical errors here. So, facing Gyarados, we should have just mimicked Hyper Beam from the get-go. So, mimic Hyper Beam. But we mimic Hydro Pump. I don't know why I thought Hydro Pump would be a great idea. We could have just done Hyper Beam. It's way more powerful. And we're going to have way more power points than most Pokemon would because we're using Mimic, so it substitutes in the Mimic amount of power points. So, I thought Mega Drain. I can Mega Drain my way through defeating the Gyarados. And he does a badge boost to me again. He does a badge boost again. And so now I gotta waste a lot of Mega Drains just to beat Gyarados. Whereas if I'd have just kept Body Slam, Gyarados would have probably been a one shot, or maybe even 2, but he would have been asleep, and I'd have had 13 more power points. So Hydro Pump does a little decent damage, but doesn't do a lot. The problem with this is you're putting these Pokemon into healing range. There's a range in which you whenever you hit a Pokemon, that the opposition trainer will heal them if you're in that range. So now I've used a lot of power points, and so Hyper Potion. See, I'm right in that range, whereas Body Slam or even Hyper Beam would have been a one-hit knockout. And, yeah, it would have been a one-hit knockout, and I wouldn't have been in the situation I am. So I'm going to an Aerodactyl, and I'm going to use Hydro Pump. I miss, so now I'm down to 2 Hydro Pumps. This is the problem I have. Is I'm running low on power points. So I use my last power point there, and now I'm looking at Hydro Pump. I didn't pay attention there. Hyper Beam, I survived. So now I'm going into the last Pokemon Dragonite, and I have 0 power points. And I have to deplete either 15 sleep, you have to deplete 9 sleep, and I have to deplete like 27 Swords Dances. So it's not possible. I'd be there forever. So now, critical decision here. Instead of going for Hydro Pump, which was a dumb decision, I don't know why I made it. But even with that decision made, if I'd have just had Body Slam, I would have won the battle. Because Body Slam would have done more damage and wouldn't have been as big an issue. So now we're going to mimic Hyper Beam like we should have done from the get-go. I also gave myself some power points, PP ups. So now there's more power points for each move. So that I don't get to that situation where I might run out of moves again. So I'm still just trying to replenish some health here. And I might get one more and knock him out. Yeah, there we go. But I don't want to use Mega Drain anymore. I want to use Hyper Beam. If you hit Hyper Beam in Gen 1, you knock it out, you don't have to recharge. You can just go right into the next Pokemon. So now Aerodactyl, it's a one-hit, and now it is Dragonite a one-hit. Dragonite can't do anything to it, so he's going to do Barrier or Agility. He's not going to do anything else but Barrier and Agility. See, that's that range again. And Hyper Beam again. Not a one-hit. He's got his defense way up right now. And I'm just going to put him to sleep. Now he's in that range again. He might heal. He might not. We get the knockout very good. So now the rival is where Body Slam was completely necessary. We get to the rival with... We have 3 minutes until 1 hour and 30 minutes. If I'd had Body Slam, this would have been done immediately. But I don't have Body Slam. So if I put him to sleep like this, and I'm using Mega Drain, I have to use a lot of Mega Drains to... Here's my strategy. It was to use Psychic from the second Pokemon, Alakazam. So I'm using a lot of Mega Drains to do this. Now my thought process again was Mega Drain can replenish my health, but Sky Attack knocks me out in one hit. So I don't have anything that can do a lot of damage to the first Pokemon without mimicking one of his moves. So that's the struggle I'm having. Whereas if I just kept Body Slam, I can still mimic another move, and I can have Body Slam to knock out the first Pokemon pretty handily. And I could have still set up my badge boost, whatever the case may be. So put him to sleep. He wakes up, but we put him back to sleep. Very good. Mega Drain. It's a slow grinding, not super effective tactic. So now I'm using Swords Dance to try to see if I can boost my attack a little bit. It does not help much. He's resisted to my... He's a flying type. He's resisted to it. Now he puts me to sleep, and he's going to do Sky Attack again and knock me out. Oh, he's not going to knock me out, but he's going to get close to knocking me out. Now he's almost there. And he knocks me out with a critical hit. So, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? What is there a way I can fix this? I don't know if this is the opportunity where I change it or not. I think this is the last time attempting this, where I might actually get by him. Okay, put him to sleep. Swords Dance. Swords Dance. Swords Dance. Very good. And then we get to Mega Drain. And I'm not thinking fourth dimensionally here. I'm not thinking ahead. I'm thinking about how to get past this Pokemon right in front of me. And this is going to work. It's going to get me past this Pokemon. But it's not going to get me past another Pokemon where Body Slam would have done what I need to do next as well. So, the next Pokemon is Alakazam. Alakazam, we put him to sleep, we mimic Psychic. So my thought process is Psychic. I can knock out his entire team with Psychic. Not remembering very well that he also has a Pokemon that pretty much resists Psychic, and that is Psychic based, so it's not that effective. Psybeam does a little bit, but the next so we get a little bit of health back with Rhydon, which is good. We get all of our health back, but then we go up and we have Executor, which has Hypnosis, which has Psychic moves, and we get put to sleep. We get Barrage. We have nothing that's going to do any damage against them. Stomp is going to do a lot of damage, a decent amount of damage. It's going to whittle us down. That's what it is. I hate it when my tactic is used against me. So that is the problem that I have. If I had Body Slam, completely different story. I would have just gone for Body Slam and probably knocked him out in one hit, maybe. But I'd at least have initiated enough damage that I can wake up and do another attack like Psychic and knock his Pokemon out. Whereas it's not the case. Watch, I'll try Psychic. I put him to sleep. I try Mega Drain, does nothing. I try Psychic. I do not try Psychic. Why are we not trying Psychic? Psychic doesn't do anything. It does about as much as Mega Drain. So now we're relied solely on putting him to sleep. We're out of Mega Drains now. And now we're down to, what, a couple psychic. We have enough psychics to win the game if we can get him knocked out. But as soon as we put him into range, he's going to full restore heal. I missed the fact that he full restored. I did not go for hypnosis or whatever. I try to knock him out again. He gets me put back to sleep. I don't wake up immediately. And I'm just like, you know what? This is just a battle of attrition right now. We're going to pull out the stops and add the move that I should have added from the get-go to compensate for my stupidity on the body slam. So TM10 is double edge. Double edge is kind of like body slam, but it recoils some damage. It does more damage than body slam. So we're going to get rid of Mega Drain. We're going to teach double edge. This should do exactly what we need to do. We can still put him to sleep. We can still mimic Psychic if we need to. But double edge is going to give us a chance to do way more damage to no matter who we face. And so now we have Pidgeot. Okay. And we're going to do Swords Dance. That's 1. Swords Dance, that's 2. Swords Dance, that's 3. Does not wake up. Then we're going to use Double Edge. Knock it out. 1-hit knockout. We get a little bit of recoil. That's okay. Same thing with Alakazam, actually. Actually, we're going to mimic his move. I'm sorry. We're going to mimic Psychic. That tactic did not go away. It was still a good tactic. Because Psychic can knock out a lot of his Pokemon, especially the Gyarados, especially the Charizard. Okay? And the reason why I'm doing it that way in the Rhydon, and the reason why I'm doing it that way specifically is because we keep losing health when we do Double Edge. So if we don't knock it out, we leave ourselves susceptible to being knocked out because we're losing health as we use it. So we'll put him to sleep. Use Psychic. Psychic is a 3-hit with Gyarados. And one more, and we get the knockout. Very good. Now the last Pokemon. Sleep Powder. Very good. We get the Sleep Powder in. Psychic. It's not a 1-hit, but I'm not leaving anything a chance. Double Edge will guarantee the 1-hit, and we get the knockout. And so with at level 66, we beat the game with a Bulbasaur. And like I said, I'm pretty confident if I just kept Body Slam, I got this in under an hour and 30 minutes. I'm kicking myself in the butt. Bulbasaur deserved a little bit better than that. However, we still get the win. We improved the playthrough by a good 20 minutes. 21 minutes and some seconds to be exact. So I'm going to let it get through, and then I'm going to pause it. There we go. So, what do I think of this playthrough? This playthrough was fun. It was definitely a better playthrough than the first one. Could it be better? Obviously, it could be better. There's a couple things that could have optimized a little bit better in this run, but 1 hour and 33 minutes is definitely a drastic improvement over almost 2 hours last time. So we got a lot of improvement there. Is there a way to make this run a little faster? I don't know. That may be a way future video because I'm not doing a lot of replays anymore. I just wanted to do the 3 starters, unless I'm requested to do a replay. But I really do think that this is the best case scenario for this Pokemon. I still think this is the 3rd best starter in Gen 1. I still like Bulbasaur. I still like all 3. They're the original, they're the OGs. Some stuff coming up for my channel. I got a lot of good playthroughs coming up. I got Machop next. I got Bellsprout for that. I got Tentacle. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. So, happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate Christmas. And hope you enjoy my videos. Check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. And you'll get videos like this all the time. I'd really appreciate it. You have a good one, and see you.